Occupy Sydney in ninth place with the principle of Occupy Sydney.
I wouldn't go for principle.
Would go to principle. One of the many helpers and supporters, Lanz. Lanz, Occupy Sydney's been here for a while and recently started up the 24/7 service for the homeless. What was your motivation for doing this?
Look, when we first came into existence, we came into existence to bring the issue of corporate greed and the detrimental impacts thereof to the attention of the public. In our 24/7 occupation, every time we looked across to where these corporate greedy bastards were, we saw homeless guys walking past. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, those homeless guys were asking us for food, asking us for blankets and what have you. And we looked and we said, well, hang on, we came here to talk about this, but hey, we have a problem. And it would be absolutely and utterly remiss of us to continue a discussion about corporate greed while failing to do anything about the downstream consequences of corporate greed, which is exactly what homelessness is. But we didn't just dive into it. We didn't just say, oh, we'll feed them. We actually spent over a year looking at what the problem might be, what the length and breadth of the problem is. We looked at where the gaps were, and there are yawning gaps. We looked at where the problems are, and there are huge problems, and the problems aren't as they might seem. The number one problem for me goes back to corporate greed, and the corporations aren't the JP Morgans or the typical corporations you might think of. Those corporations are government. Those corporations are the NGOs that mostly you think of as charities. These are big businesses today. They turn over hundreds of millions of dollars, handing marginalised people up to the government and to gullible donors, and spending money in their programs those people had no say in formulating. The number one problem, though, associated with these people and these organisations is the fact that they tell us there's a problem. And I think from where we sit, we admit that there is a problem. They tell us it costs tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars annually for them to provide the services they provide. But no government department, no NGO looks and says, well, what does success look like? What is our zero problem solution? To me, the common sense way to deal with any problem is to look to say, well, we need a time frame. We need a resource base that by expending X resources over Y amount of time, and in this case, tweaking Z legislation, we end up with zero problem. And there should be an amount of resource put in at the beginning that diminishes as the program succeeds. That's not the case with government, and it's not the case with the marginalisation industry. The poverty industry and the government every year ask for more money. They ask for more resources. And the problems, not only with homelessness, but with every area of marginalisation, get worse. Now stand back from that picture. What does it look like to you? It looks like you're actually paying for the problem to get worse. Or in simple terms, the solutions that these NGOs and government departments propose just don't work.
I see. And you deal with quite a cross-section of people here, homeless people, and other people you were telling me about yesterday. Is the people that come to you looking for help, particularly are they all homeless people?
Not at all. Not at all. Look, the wider dynamic of what we do here, I mean, feeding the homeless is the obvious and after the fact event. A lot of the people that come and eat with us aren't actually homeless, but they're spending that much of their income on housing, on accommodation, associated costs, but they can't afford to buy food. And And yeah,
so they won't have coming to you.
In our, and we, unlike some of the NGOs, we encourage those people to come and eat here. I'd much rather see people, and more particularly people with children, coming here and feeding their kids every day, and people coming here and getting food for their kids. I'd much rather see that happen than families skipping meals. And we're not typically talking about welfare-dependent families. In some cases, with some of the guys who are in boarding houses, yes, we're talking about welfare-dependent people. But in a lot of cases, you've got at least one partner in the partnership that are working, and they can't afford the cost of housing either. So we have to look and we have to say, well, what does success look like? Where is the zero problem solution? And in that context, the people who taxpayers and society charge with evolving those solutions, I'd argue they're not even in the right library, much less on the right page.
Now, what's the main barrier to providing the service that you provide 24/7 to the homeless?
I'd like to understand the question a little better.
Which is the main obstacle for you operating here? You told me recently that a lot of your resources...
Look, the main obstacle to us operating here is government dissent at state and local body level. I mean, you have these tiers of government who, and I might add, they have a vested interest in ensuring that homelessness continues. They have a vested interest in using food as bait to trawl homeless people into the marginalisation industry's net. They all benefit from that, marginalisation industry and government, state, federal and local bodies. They all benefit from that. It's another tool that they use to manage people, and emphatically, government shouldn't manage people. People should manage the government.
Have you got a message you'd like to send out to people who view this footage in terms of what they could do to assist homelessness and assist this facility here at Lanz Place?
Well, directly in relation to here, and flagging that we have feelers out at the moment to establish facilities in Brisbane and Melbourne. But directly in relation to here, look, what we do is we ask people to bring food. We ask people to bring blankets. We ask people to bring clothes. We ask people, what resources do you think we need? Or if you were homeless, what resources would you like to have that you could provide? Bring on that basis. And let's see what you can bring. We can distribute, and we have one ironclad guarantee: nothing gets sold here.
And what about actually coming in and meeting you?
Absolutely and utterly. We encourage how we work here, just to give people a little bit of an insight. This is kept running a little bit by occupied people, a little bit by homeless people, and a little bit by other volunteers.